Hey, Bunkin fans, it's Strickland, the other half of the Nice Guys on Business. Doug recently interviewed Steve Shevlin, founder and CEO of Emerging Global Services, and Steve has written an amazing report called 3 Steps to Staffing and Retaining a Winning Team, and you can get it free through a link in our show notes. Here is Doug and Steve talking a little bit more about it.
Tell me a little bit about the origin of Emerging Global and where you guys think that you've been successful when it comes to hiring and retaining people.
It's all about finding great talent. Having a successful company is all about tapping into great people.
Steve, where do you think that most people fall down on the job when it comes to not only retaining good people, but finding good people to begin with?
It has a lot to do with their own passion for their own business. And does that come through in an interview? You're interviewing them, but they're also interviewing you. They want to know, is this person passionate? I'm the owner of a company, so I'm going to be naturally excited and passionate about what I do.
So the information is in 3 Steps to Staffing and Retaining a Winning Team. And I found as I was reading the 3 steps that whether you're brick and mortar, digital, entrepreneur, or corporate leader, it actually fits into any environment. Why do you think that that is so?
Because in all those environments, you're dealing with people. And they all need to be managed. They all need to be motivated, developed, invested in. All of these things are true to every great company. Great organizations have great people behind it.
Steve, I want to ask you about 2 numbers. 1,257, which is the episode number that you're on the Nice Guys on Business. And secondly, 3, as in 3 steps to staffing and retaining a winning team. Where did you come up with the 3? And how do you know that these are like the tried and true 3?
I've been doing this for 30 plus years. And so it's a lot of sweat equity. It's a lot of hard knocks. It's a lot of work. And it is some reading and some education along the way. There's no doubt. Trial and error as well.
So check out episode 1257 on the Nice Guys on Business, where Steve and I have a conversation on everything that it takes to get and retain a quality staff. And then download his document, 3 Steps to Staffing and Retaining a Winning Team. Thanks for being here, Steve.
Thank you so much.
You're pretty good at podcasting there, Doug and Strickland. And that's what I appreciates about you. Because the house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you, unless when that perfect hand comes along, you bet and you bet big. Then you take the house. Oh, and the Nice Guys on Business. Go from where you are now to where you could be. Get expert tips to grow your business, to be more productive and more efficient, whether you're trying to build influence, grow your community, or make it rain. Best-selling author of Nice Guys Finish First, Doug Sandler, can lead the way. The Nice Guys on Business is produced by Turnkey Podcast Productions. Now, here's your host, Doug Sandler.
So Nice Guy community, from my own experience with Feng Shui, I can tell you that this is not just woo. Ease and flow, form and function all mesh together, and today's guest is here to tell us exactly why this is so. Kathryn Wilking is an author, she's a decorator, she's a Feng Shui coach and a consultant, she's a podcast host, actually she's a turnkey podcast coach as well. Kathryn can get your space working for you right now, right here, today. Her new podcast is called Feng Shui Your Day. Kathryn, welcome to Nice Guys on Business podcast.
Hi, Doug. I'm just delighted to be here. Thanks so much for having me on your show.
I'm happy to have you here, and I'm happy to talk. You know, it's funny because when we first connected, again, Nice Guy community, I have Kathryn on video just as we are talking, and she was very concerned, as are many people in the visual space, very concerned with the placement of her microphone when it came to the video. So it's really interesting. I didn't want to insult you by telling you, well, the microphone placement is not really important from a video perspective. It's more important from an audio perspective. But I can assume that you were battling somehow with that internal struggle of, well, it's got to look right and it's got to be in the right place. So when did this get to be a thing? Has Feng Shui always been a thing?
Great question. And I've been a decorator and in the decorating business for years and years. I used to do all the wallpaper and sponge paintings and all kinds of stuff. And when I remarried way back in 1998, I was miffed. I couldn't seem to figure out how to do the blended family thing. And so I searched and searched to find the meaning of life, and I found Feng Shui. And my first Feng Shui consultant came to my house and explained to me about the difference between private areas and common areas. And the idea would be, if I was going to make new family memories with my new family, I had to concentrate on the common areas to make those family memories. And it was brilliant. It worked. And I've taken this feng shui theories into my business and my entire life to date. And I just love to share it with people. I love that they have this aha moment when they see the cryptic messages they're sending themselves. It's fascinating.
So tell me a little bit about, oftentimes, and I've lived with people this way, and I've had relationships with people that have been in this environment where they're more comfortable in clutter. And for me, I've always been, I don't know if Feng Shui has anything to do with being a minimalist. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just the right placement of the right things that are in your life. How do you take someone that is either like me on the, I like to live with a bare minimum around me, to someone that is, that enjoys a life filled with clutter or lots of things? How do you put those two together and have a happy outcome?
Another great question. It goes down to your personalities as well. In some places, if you notice, even restaurants, people's homes, feel comfortable or you don't feel comfortable. You think, what's going on in this place, right? Oh my God. And I've been in them. And these type of people seem to be earthy people. They want like nesting. They like stuff around them. They like textures. They like their things, and not really hoarders. They can be on the edge of a hoarder, but they really don't pare their things down or get rid of it or recycling, old blouses or furniture or pictures or different things. They just like to collect things and hang on to stuff. They're comfortable that way. There's other people that like to be more organized. They want to know where their pencils are. And for women, their makeup's all lined up properly and their blouses are all lined up properly. And that's uncomfortable for other people. So some of this is just trying to find the right balance for people. And I go in there looking for function and flow. And if I see trip hazards or, worse, I really have to step in and say something.
I'm with you on that. But is there a right and a wrong when it comes? Well, maybe we should even take a step back before we even get into the details of that. Let's take a step back. What is Feng Shui? And I mean, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it properly. Feng Shui, Feng Shui, does it matter Shui? What is it and why is there energy or a proper way to do things from a design perspective?
Okay, let's talk about Feng Shui. It's kind of like the fun in the shui, but there's a little g on it, and it depends on your accent. So I get what you're talking about. But if you go back to the real Feng Shui, it's an energy force. It's something you really can't see, but it's a feeling. And one of the things I'm just going to plug in here is called Qi energy. And right on my website, actually, there's a free gift on there, 10 ways to raise the Qi energy in any space. Okay, yeah. So that's pretty cool. So how to describe that, I tell people, if you just open the window and you breathe in that zest from the outside, that's Qi energy. And what you want to do is try and bring this type of life force into your house every single day in many different ways.
I thought that was coffee. I thought coffee in the morning for me gives you
that works too. But what happens is there's different layers of Feng Shui. So the first one is basically tangibles. You move the blue vase over here, and you put the white vase over here, or you put flowers on here, and the tangibles, which obviously we're visual people, right? People respond to good visuals. They don't like that messy stuff or if their pictures are hung crooked or whatever. That's real anal for me to go in and straighten everybody's pictures. But there's another level as well too. And part of that shows up on some of my other courses that I teach, like our one room rescue. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a few minutes. But taking a movement, the ins and outs, the paper flow needs to work. The dishes have to be done. The garbage has to be taken out. There's a flow and a function in the house to make it work. And lastly, I talk about the cryptic messages that we're sending ourselves. I've got a whole segment called What's on Your Walls. It's right there. Where are you sitting for most of the time during the day? And what's the message that these pictures or sayings or whatever it is telling you? It could either sabotage you or support you in your dreams. And so those are the things that I look at when I'm helping people set up their offices or their homes.
So where do people generally start? Do you have to do an analysis of things like their birthdays or does that have anything to do with it, or the placement of their home? Or is it literally you could walk into a single room? I know you do have one of the things that you're sharing is a course. What was it? What's it called?
One room rescue.
One room rescue. Is it as simple as can you feng shui a single room in a larger house so that all the other stuff outside, pardon my expression, all the other could be completely fucked up and that one room could be really, really good? Or does it have to play into the overall picture? How does that even work?
Okay, multiple questions. Let's go. Let's rewind a little bit. First of all, there's different schools of feng shui. So that's where people get confused. So it goes back to the old, there's a compass school, there's a classical school, there's Western school, different things. I teach one called BTB, and it's a kind of an amalgamation of many different schools that seems to be, for me, work better in the modern day society. So it's a little bit of this, a little bit of this. And since I have decorating background, I've taken those components and put it into my business. So there's other people that are serious about the compass school. And, a lot of times you can't figure out, not everybody gets a chance to decide which orientation to put their house in, right? You just kind of move in and deal with it. So you're into corrections. Other people are looking more of landscape, roads, lakes, valleys, different things. And they have their expression there, animals, all that stuff. Now I've had to learn a lot of things just because I get a lot of questions, let's face it. But in my own business, I couldn't possibly go into, face reading, numerology, other things that go with it. But yes, depending on your problem, you might have to get into that area. Now I have a personality test on my site as well too. So if you do personality tests, and then I talk to you, I can kind of figure stuff out as it is.
Yeah. What's great about it is it's funny we have a feng shui expert that's been into, I think now 3 of the residents that we have been in. And since we were not responsible for the actual building design, some of the things from a feng shui perspective weren't exactly the way, like a front door. You can't relocate your front door, but you can have a ingress and egress from somewhere other than the front door. Like, for example, you can come through your garage as opposed through your front door, so there's all of these quote unquote, these rules. But then there's also the corrections that you can make. You could put up a metal object somewhere, or you can put up a wood object somewhere, or something like that. How detailed do you need to get in order to create the ideal work or personal environment for someone when you're doing the design for them?
Well, so here we go. What I often do, I have, of course, an intense interview telling me about their day and what are their problems, what are their goals. And so many people want to know where the wealth area is in the house, let's face it. And of course, relationships and partnerships, and maybe even health or career or spiritual or whatever like that. But we zero in on these things. And I'll tell you, if your teenage son's bedroom is in the wealth area of the house, I'm going to suggest that you don't lay this on your kid. Okay. We're going to find a secondary spot to enhance. And so that takes a little bit of skill and problem solving. And certainly we don't want your house to look like a Mexican circus out there, but we do want to find something that is comfortable for you and that is going to work and enhance those areas. Yes. And so same thing with the master bedroom. It could be in the very wrong spot of the house, but there are things that we can do with colors, shapes, and textiles, just as you were saying, messages on the wall, and that certainly as well. So to answer your earlier question is, yes, often I do one room, and a lot of the theories and experiences and energy from that one room spill over into the next. It's like painting a wall in your house and then going, oh, well, I guess we better do the bathroom. I guess we better do the hall. I guess we better do the next one. Things start to spill over, and it's transformation. It's transformational.
So let's talk to the entrepreneurs that are in our community, those that have a home office, let's say, and they've set up their home office. Give me some practical tools that they could probably put into play just from listening to the show that might help them to attract the right energy. Is that what we're trying to do? Attract the right energy into their world?
And send the right message.
And send the right message. All right. So let's talk about that. Some practical things that somebody that's in our community can do today to help.
So not everybody gets the luxury of having their own spare room or office, let's face it. And I often have to find a spot for them to work. And one of the big rules is whether you're got your own space or not, you need to be in a power position. And a power position is misled a little bit in our modern day society. Everybody seems to put their desks facing a wall or in a corner or stuck in that way. And that particular pose is actually a punishment pose. Remember years and years back that you would send the kid in the corner. Or put him on a stool. And a stool, it has no back support or arm support, or they've got some of them dunce caps on them. And that's a bad pose, but it seems to be more North American standard. And what you need to do is twist your desk around so that you're in a power position. You've got a protective wall behind you or a protective chair. You've got what they call a phoenix vision. You can see what's going on in not only your room, down the hall, outside. You can see what you need to do. And that's being in charge. And you can take that knowledge right into business meetings at a coffee shop, boardroom, anything like that. You go in and get the best position that works for you. So the power position is very important.
So how do you even know what a power position would be? Is it facing a window? Is it with a wall that's close behind you? It sounds like it's not with a wall directly in front of you. And I'm looking at my setup and I'm like, oh my God, I'm staring at a wall.
Or the worst, there's a mirrored closet right there and you've doubled your work area, right? I mean, this is really bad stuff that I see.
But I heard things like you shouldn't have your back to the door, or
the door's not good either. Yeah. So
right.
Here we are. So if you think of your subconscious mind, remember going into another layer of awareness here. Your subconscious is constantly going, are you safe? What's going on? Who's walking behind me? What's going on in the background? That kind of stuff. And so if you've got that chatter, that little bit of interference in your head, that's going to affect your work. It's going to affect your decisions, your concentration, and even your relationships as well. So having yourself in a power position means your back is protected.
Okay, I got it. So it sounds like there are some variables that you need to put yourself in a position where the variables are at least all in your favor. Is that correct?
Yes. Line up your ducks so that you can win and weather the storms ahead. Yes.
So what next do people need to know about feng shui? I personally, I think it's fascinating. Subconsciously, that if you're feeling comfortable in an environment, you tend to be more at ease, which will allow success to come into your life a lot easier. It does make sense. But what's the whole rationale behind it? This energy thing, it's not something that we can feel, but it is something that we can feel because you kind of know that it's there every time. Like you said, you open the window, you smell the fresh air. It gives you a certain boost of energy. Why is that so? Is it because we're human? Is there something else? Why is that?
You're human. That's good. That's good. Well, the other thing is taking charge of your space, taking charge of your body, taking charge of your environment as well, too. And this is what we preach for setting up your offices and such as well. If you look around, there's all kinds of stuff, right? And people give us more books, people give us clothes, people give us furniture and pictures and different things. And what makes a successful person, if you surround yourself with the things you love, bring you joy, that support you, that's exactly what you need to be successful here. And yeah, a lot of them are tangible, a lot of them are feelings. And so by moving paper, having a plan for your paper, doesn't mean keep buying more filing cabinets for your paper. It means culling the stuff out. I've had a 2-door filing cabinet here for 20 years. And, my reference books are over here. My projects are open here. And it just keeps the paper moving. And so many people are embarrassed about their desks. You don't want to see that. I can't take you in there. I got to go in and look at it, right? So what happens is, it's okay to have a mess on your desk. I'm telling you right now, because that's job security. That means you've got a project, you're getting paid, it's working for you. Okay.
I'm in trouble because my desk is always clean. I like a clean work surface.
So the point is, when you finish the project, you file it away, right? And so you don't get too many files open and you don't get too much cluttering on your desk. It's the stuff that lies unfinished That's the problem. That kind of naggles, that feeling of, I got to call that guy, And as soon as you just do it, it goes away. Same thing with too many papers and files as well, too. So by establishing a system, like I mentioned earlier, the ins and the outs, the paper flow, the whatever else you have to do, the laundry and the dishes and the recycling, it never ends. Life is continuously moving, and it's taking charge and managing that energy to keep things moving for you in a positive way.
So talk to me about, I want to take a little bit of a right turn here. Talk to me about Feng Shui Your Day, your new podcast. So I know that we've had a chance to work together on getting the podcast launched, but tell me a little bit about the messages that you're sharing on your show, the guests that you're bringing on, and tell me what it's about.
Yeah, I want to thank you, of course, Doug. He's amazing. Here's a little plug for Doug Sandler. He's taking another intake of interns, I guess you could call it, and groom them to do their own podcasts. And thanks very much. You've been amazing. But what I wanted to do with Feng Shui Your Day is find a segue about Feng Shui and taking charge and being positive and flow in your day. And Feng Shui covers so many different things. So I've interviewed many people. I'll tell you about them in a few minutes. And the idea is to have a segue to all different types of work and habits and industries and hobbies and different things, and how that works with Feng Shui. So I've got a music teacher that talks about the vibration in the body, right through all the chakras and stuff. A fitness person, health and fitness, somebody who likes to meditate. I've always talked about a lady that does colors to sort out personality issues with her. So she does the true colors. So there's other seminars of different work environments here that all incorporate using Feng Shui in your day. And it's endless. You should see the people. I've got 19 people already on a list for a podcast with me this year. And I'm just thrilled, just absolutely thrilled. So my message, bottom line, is I think we can change the world. I think these are positive messages that the world needs a real 180 turn right now, and that this can be part of that message.
When did you realize that you were more than, I don't want to say just a designer, because there's plenty of designers that are out there, but when did you realize that this wasn't just a part of designing your space? This was more of some life choices going on in here with Feng Shui?
Absolutely. And being a decorator, I would go into people's homes and kind of go, well, that doesn't look right. Well, that doesn't look right. Well, let me try it. Okay. And you kind of keep moving till it looks right. And with Feng Shui, I can walk into a room and go, oh, I know why that doesn't work. And I know what I can do to fix it. And it's so much easier once you've pinpointed those cryptic messages, and I can set people up for success pretty quickly.
So there's a couple of things that we want to promote Nice Guy Community so that you have access to Kathryn's work, not only her website and her podcast as well, but this one room rescue. So maybe where do we want to start? What's the stuff that we want to promote to our community, Kathryn?
Actually, so if you go on my website, there's a free gift, as I mentioned, 10 ways to raise the chi energy in your home. And it's just easy stuff like opening the window, turning on the lights, easy stuff that you might not even think about. A little bit farther down, I've got a one room rescue. Since we've been in COVID, I can't seem to get out to people's houses and offices as easily as I'd like. So I've had to use the computer to get in there. You can give me a little tour if you want. I can look at your floor plan. We've had some big success. I've done condos in Portugal over the lines here. I've helped people rent apartments in Argentina. I've helped people find sites on Vancouver Island. It's amazing what you can do when you have to pivot here. But what you're looking at now is, well, myself, I'm looking in a Zoom window, and this is how I get into your house to help you right now, my one room rescue. And so if you don't have an office, a designated office, I can find you space to work. We put you in your power position. We develop a paper trail for you. What's on the walls? We have a segment of Zoom. This is your new business card now. Your Zoom window is your new bit. This is where you talk to people. This is where you bill people. If you're asking people for money, you better darn well look like you're in business. Let's face it. And then some people want to take that next step to setting themselves up a morning routine, which kind of sequence that you need to. You only need less than 10 minutes, and you can if you're into touch, I can help you with that. If you're into meditation, I can give you some words and some little like a heartfelt sutra to do in the morning, and just settle right into your business, making sound decisions and being great.
Awesome. Well, you can get a Nice Guy community. You can get all of this information directly from Kathryn's website. The homepage of the website is a wealth of information. It's kathrynwilking.com. We'll make sure we put a link in the show notes so that you have the exact spelling for all of that as well.
Yeah, keep it easy.
That's right. Keep it very easy. Kathryn, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom on the show. I'm looking forward to hearing back from our community with some great comments. Thanks for being here.
Amazing. Thanks, Doug. And you too can have a feng shui day.
Excellent. Feng Shui Your Day today with Kathryn Wilking. Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice or the power of a good chi energy room. Special thanks to our guest, Kathryn Wilking. All of her information, including access to her website, will be right there in the show notes. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Don't underestimate the power of nice.